Shimmering Splendid, where I review Walt Disney World rides and attractions. Whether you're planning a trip to Disney and you want to learn some information about a ride, whether you want to know the newest stuff about a new ride, or whether you just want to learn everything that there is to know about Disney World, that's me, then look no further. Today I'm going to be reviewing one of the newest attractions to hit Epcot, Soarin' Around the World. Why Soarin' and not Frozen Ever After? Because I couldn't get on Frozen Ever After. I'm still bitter about that. Soarin' Around the World opened on June 17th, 2016, and I last visited Epcot on July 5th, 2016. So the ride was only about 2.5 weeks old by the time I got there, and it was really, really exciting. One of the best things about Soarin' Around the World versus Soarin' Over California is the wait time. We got Fast Pass for Soarin', but we really didn't need to because now that they've added a third theater, the wait times have been reduced from over an hour to just about 45 minutes or so. Soarin' is classified as a flight motion simulator ride, which basically means that they put you in a vehicle, in this case a hang glider, and they show you a video and they move the ride to make you feel like you're really moving. So it's a ride akin to Star Tours, Mission Space, or even Body Wars. I miss Body Wars! When you get onto Soarin', there's 3 rows of seats in 3 sections. So you have a left, middle, and a right, and then you have front, middle, and back. And what happens is it goes from a horizontal to a vertical view. So when you're in the back row, you're going to be on the bottom, and front row goes to the top, middle goes to middle. When I went to Epcot, we rode Soarin' 4 times that day. Best day ever. And because of that, I'm going to share a rather unpopular opinion and say that I actually prefer row 2 to row 1. A lot of people, when they ride Soarin', really prefer row 1 because you get the highest up, you really feel like you're hang gliding, and it really kind of gives you the most immersive experience. When in row 2, the most distracting thing is the feet. But when you're in row 1, you really start to notice that the screen of Soarin' is actually a circle and the theater itself is a square. So if you're sitting on the end like I was for 2 of the rides, you're actually looking at all of the black space where the screen doesn't quite fit. And if you are on the sides, the worst part about it is that the screen bends. So there's nothing really more distracting than swooping into this beautiful monument and having it tilt like the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Spoiler alert, it's not the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Even when we moved to the center, the bending wasn't as bad, but I could still look down and see the black space. And because you're so high up, you're naturally inclined to look down. So it became a lot more noticeable than when I was in row 2. So for that reason alone, I personally prefer row 2 over row 1. And I'm actually okay with having that opinion because it means I'm not going to have to fight anybody for row 2. Everybody will be going to row 1, and I'll be perfectly happy sitting in row 2. So what's the difference between Soarin' Over California and Soarin' Around the World? I've ridden both, and I can tell you that I don't necessarily have a favorite. But there are definitely some things that Soarin' Around the World has over California. And the biggest one I would say is variety. With Soarin' Over California, you visited a couple of different places, and they were all in California. They all had a very specific theme to them. Whereas Soaring Around the World gave you so many different places, a lot of which I didn't recognize. And the one thing I really enjoyed about this is that there were so many natural locations. There were a lot of animals in there. There was a lot of places completely devoid of people. Yes, some of the animals were a little too CGI for my taste, but it's probably hard to get a cheetah to do a backflip while you're doing this grand, epic, sweeping, and very expensive flyover shot. Spoiler alert, there are no backflipping cheetahs in Soarin' Around the World. Darn. The one downside to all that variety is that it's all very quick. By the time you've settled, you've gone, wow, here we are. I think I know where this is. This is really cool. Look over there. You're immediately going into another location. So I wouldn't have minded if the shots lasted just a hair longer, but I could just be nitpicking on that one. One thing that Soarin' Over California definitely has over Soarin' Around the World is the smell. Everybody remembers from Soarin' Over California the smell of those oranges. I still remember it. I can picture it right now. They smelled so good. The most pervasive smell in Soarin' Around the World was animals. And specifically like that dirty savanna smell that, okay, poop. It smelled like poop. When you compare poop to oranges, you kind of know which one you prefer to smell. So, point to Soarin' Over California on that one. The other thing that's brand new about Soarin' around the world is that they now have the Soarin' Challenge. Now, I didn't get to experience this because we had a fast pass, but basically the Soarin' Challenge is something you can download on your smartphone, and you can play with the other players in line, and it asks you trivia questions about all sorts of international cuisine and languages, and basically makes you feel like you're on this trip going somewhere, and it gives you a chance to rub it in your friends' faces that you know more about travel than they do. So if you have ever gotten to experience the Soarin' Challenge and gotten to play it, let me know in the comment section below, because I really want to know what it's like, and I'm curious to hear players' experiences with it. So where does Soarin' rank as far as Disney attractions go? Well, it's not a thrill ride, so for me personally that knocks it down a couple of pegs because I love thrill rides. But it is a really fun, immersive experience. It's a great family ride because it's not scary, it's not fast, and it's definitely a staple of every Disney vacation. I would rate Soarin' 7 out of 10 Patrick Warburtons. So my question is, what do you think about Soarin'? Did I rate it right, or would you see it higher or lower? I mean, we all love a good Patrick Warburton, but as far as Soarin' itself is concerned, is 7 out of 10 a good rating? Also, what would you like to see me review next? I've been on pretty much every single Disney ride except for Frozen Ever After. Yes, I'm still bitter about that. Well, let me know in the comment section below what you'd like to see me review. If you like this video, check back every Thursday for another Shining, Shimmering, Splendid video.